Hello guys, how are you doing? It's your homeboy Guy. I hope you guys are doing great. I hope you guys are fine. On my end, I'm perfectly fine. Stay safe and dry. Right now it's raining in Metro Manila for at least the last 24 hours. I hope everybody's doing great. Watch the news, stay alert of whatever is happening on the surrounding. And yeah, hopefully we are getting the sun back. But the rain is not also bad, but you know, hopefully the sun get back. It's been 24 hours now that it's raining here in at least in Metro Manila. I don't know in all the other city or the other area in the Philippines, but for the last 24 hours in Metro Manila, it's been raining. So guys, you know myself, I always get the camera when I have something that comes in mind. I read an article, a review that talk about the Philippines or something that's involving the foreigner. I'll always get the camera and start talking about. We have seen an increasing number of foreigners coming in the Philippines. Before the pandemic, it was quite high. When the pandemic arrived, it went down, and then now after the pandemic, the peak is still going up now. And you know, that is a little bit in contrast with what most of people who are not in the Philippines probably are sometimes saying, like, oh no, you know, living in the Philippines is not always a good idea for foreigner. For many reasons, right? They'll probably mention the women part, where you know you cannot really invest yourself there and then start living with the women, because at the end of the day, once things get bad, you'll probably run with all your fortune or stuff like that. Anyway, there are a lot of comments about people not always seeing the bright side of living in the Philippines. But here today, I'm going to talk about those people who are coming in the Philippines actually for retirement. Is it a good or bad idea? I was in the French group. Well, it's a French group, but it doesn't mean that everybody who are in that group are from France. I was in the French group where they were really seeing it. Most of people were really seeing it in the negative way, like coming in the Philippines and decide to retire. But actually, in reality, there are a lot of people that are retiring in the Philippines. And I'm going to give you some reason why eventually it can be a good idea to retire in the Philippines, you know. Okay, this is maybe subjective, but it's also based on observation and the fact that I'm seeing in front of me. I'm living in the Philippines. I talk to people and I gather some information. One of the first reasons why people are moving in the Philippines, because actually this video is about is it good or bad to move to the Philippines and eventually retire here. One of the first reasons that has been highlighted to me, it's the women. So if you need to put some percentage, 40% of people are moving to the Philippines because of women. Yes, there are a lot of things that have been said about women, but this is still one of the main reasons why people decide to move in the Philippines for retirement, because of women. And you know, when you talk about women, it's not always the part where, I don't know, people will see probably like maniac and, you know, just want to have a relationship with women and, you know, exchange women. No. Been living in the Philippines for a couple of years now. Filipinos are still traditional. I mean, at least for a big majority, you can still see traditional Filipina here. I mean, traditional women, right, who still have those values of, you know, living in the marriage or living with the partner while respecting the place that the women should have and the man should have. And I think most of the men in the planet are still traditional too, meaning they want to have their place and they want the women to have their place. But you know, with the society right now, especially Western society, we are not going to lie about it. It's getting crazy now. I mean, with those gender equality, you know, everybody's equal, the feminist, it's become more and more difficult for a man to, you know, at least on my point of view, to be very comfortable if he's a traditional man like me with those type of new generation of women. So Philippines still offer those women that are quite traditional. So that's one of the reasons. Simply, if you want to retire, you want to be with someone who's, you know, still know her place. You come back and then you say, maybe I want to, I don't know, I want a warm coffee, or I want to eat some food. She will not give you maybe Pizza Hut number, or like a fast food things to call and then, you know, eat by yourself. Her voice will not be raised in the house as your voice. You know, those kind of stuff. So that's one of the reasons. Of course, also the beauty. You know, you can still see some natural, beautiful women in the Philippines. You know, the transformation when it comes to, you know, how to say that in the nice way. You can still find some natural women without any physical transformation yet. There are some here, but compared to some other society, you can still find some natural women here. So that's one of the reasons. 40% women, 30% is the cost of life, or the cost of living. I think in the Philippines, I've mentioned that in several videos, it's a relative cheap country when it's come to spending money. Transportation is still affordable, the house is still affordable, the food is still affordable, at least as a foreigner. And especially if you're living far from the big city. And I'm assuming that if you're moving in this country, let's say for example for retirement, probably you are not looking for the big cities, right? You are not looking for what you were already witnessing in your previous country or previous society. So most of people, when they go here, they go to province, living in some province like Lea, I don't know, Batangas, Mindanao, Vegan, and the cost of living there, it's still affordable, at least compared to Metro Manila. So we are going to say 30% will probably be the cost of living. So we're already at 70% in total. We also have the language. I think I'm going to give another 20% to the language probably, because when you look at the society here, most of people speak English, which is the most spoken language in the world. So if you can move to a society or retire in the society where people speak your language, I think it's make things pretty much easier, or at least where you don't have to make too much effort in order for you to communicate. It's a pretty good deal, and that's why I see a lot of Western guys coming here in the Philippines because of the language. That's like 90%. So what else can I highlight here for the remaining 10%? We already have women, 40%, 30% cost of living, 10% language, no, 20% language. What I'm going to put on the 10%? I think on the 10% I'm going to probably put the environment, like the beaches. I mean, you can, yeah, I'm going to probably put the environment. When I say environment, yeah, like natural environment. Like you can still see some nice places here that are also close to natural. You can find a lot of beach here. You can find a lot of place where you can do hiking. You can find a lot of place where you can just enjoy the nature, right? So yeah, I'm going to put the 10% on nature, yeah, in general, right? Whatever is water, sun that you're looking, beach, you know, things like that, mountain. I think you can find it also here. Even the temperature, the climate. If you are coming from a very cold place, I think Philippines is a good contrast with the cold place where you're coming from. It's a mix of sun and rain, but in general it's warm in the Philippines. So yeah, the 10% I will put it in with climate or nature. So if I have to recap, yeah, I'm going to say 40% of people moving here, it's women. 30% will be cost of living. 20% will be language, English. And the 10% will be because of the nature. Well, now, does it have a down part here also? Of course, there are some down parts. If you are coming from a society where things are done in 1 minute, you know, let's say for example you're coming from Japan, where usually people are doing things quick, right? Quick execution. It might not be the same in the Philippines. If you are not patient, probably it's not going to be a good experience for you to go here in the Philippines, because sometimes it requires a lot of patience. If you want to live in your own bubble, like maybe you do a week, a month, nobody talk to you, probably Philippines will not be a right country for you. Not that people will invade you, but it's hard to be a foreigner and not walk somewhere in the street, even in province, and someone don't say hi to you, or kamusta, or hey, what's up, say something to you for sure. And that's because they are very into foreigner. They are very curious about foreigner, or maybe warm toward foreigners, or maybe they're just warm in general. Yeah, so those are the things. If you are that type of guy who are just impatient, who want to maybe live in your own space and not seeing anyone, or maybe not necessarily talk to people, then probably that's not going to be the right country for you. Now, if you're asking me myself if I'm seeing myself here retiring in the Philippines, well, it depends. For the meantime, I never thought about it, because right now the priority is going to be my kids, and I don't think I'm already old enough to retire. I still need money. I don't even have money to retire right now. But yeah, why not? It depends. Happiness can be found everywhere. It's something that is very subjective. It depends on each and everyone, the criteria that you're looking for. But for me, yeah, if the place that I'm going, there are some nature, it's a peaceful area in general, where you don't have to fight with people don't have to fight with you, it's safe for myself, then I'm good to go. Even though right now, as I said, it's very far from my thinking right now. But yeah, a lot of foreigners are thinking Philippines as place to retire, and I think it's not a bad idea. It's not it's not a bad thing. I will even say, yeah, it's among the top country when it's come to retirement, right? It's not. Africa can also be among those type of place where you can think of retirement, but unlike Philippines, Africa does sometimes missing some basic stuff. Like for example, we go to a very nice place, but there is no electricity. Sometimes you go to a very nice place, but maybe the water is lacking, right? You still have some problem like that in some area. But if you go to the main city, big city, you're gonna have everything that you're looking for. But I think for someone who want to retire, usually you are looking for peace, for things that you have been through the whole time that you were working. You're trying to stay away from that. So big city are among these. Now this is subjective. You can have some other thought, some other idea, but let me know what you're thinking. Is it really true that this can be the percentage of things that will attract people here in the Philippines, or you think that there are some other criteria that are attracting people to eventually retire in Metro Manila? But one thing is sure, the number are still going high. I wanted to share that one with you quickly. Still raining. Maybe I'm going to do another video since we cannot really move. Take good care of yourself. Keep sharing, keep liking. More importantly, keep subscribing. And be bala.